7. No? So, afternoon, Vladimir. So, I will repeat, starting next week, that's going to be week 8, I will no longer reopen old activities because hapit na ang atoang final exam. And week 9 is completion of the project na lang siya. Okay? Tapos, deadline after the final grading exam, 4 days after that, that's the deadline of your grade already. So, dili mi pwede late o submit o grade. So, that's why I will close all the activities or I will no longer allow you to submit late activities starting next week. Because I need to finish the grade on time. Okay? Is that understood? Understood ba? Nga dili na ako magpa-reopen, Sige, thank you for the response. Vladimir, how about the others? Understood ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sige, thank you for your responses. Sige, so before I will open, ang akong naglisod sa loop nga year. Parihor gito siya concept Vladimir sa akong previous sample katong add even modulo gid gihapon to Vladimir. Tapos ilisa na gud mo tong percent 2, ilisa nimo laing number niya. Take note every 4 years ra mag leap year. Tapos another is katulang kung non-leap year. So pila may remainder nga mo i-consider na upat lang man. 'Di ba? So kung dito lang to mag-vary sa value. Kung walay remainder, di unsa man na siya, leap year na siya o dili. Kung may remainder, unsa man na siya, leap year na siya, dili. Ana lang ba? Na 3 ka Java file. Oo, kasi imo ra man siya i-rewrite. If you will just follow the, di ba, gi-discuss man ako unsay syntax kung for loop, syntax kung do while, syntax kung while loop. Imo lang mo siya i-translate and I have given to you different samples using for loop, using while loop, using do while. Imo lang mo to siya i-translate. Okay? So naalam ko sample nga gihatag sa inyo ana. I also uploaded katong mga gidemo nako online nga mga sample programs. So we'll just have to rewrite them. So dapat asa man ka mas convenient nga loop, for loop. Pag comments for loop, the same lang man to, ang conditional statements, it will not change, only the structure of the loop pag mag-while na ka. Diba? Kung mag-do while na ka. Okay, anyway, so we'll now have a review of our previous topic, though I have mentioned it already, but I would like to hear it from you. What did we discuss last week? Any volunteer? Oh, ano yung topic last week? We only have one topic last week. Sige. Sige, Ryan is raising his hand. Others are answering in the chat box. That's good. Sige, Ryan.
Last meeting, ma'am, we have discussed the loops, the 3 types of loops, the while loop, the do while, and the for loop.
Okay, so that's our topic last meeting. Sige, gamay ra kayong response ba sa chat box? Unya, pila pa ka ba kung estudyante? 46%, pero gamay lang ang nag-reply. So only Jiho, Eda, Julius, Michael, Peter, and Glenn. Vladimir, sige. So about loops. Okay, next question. Mag-participate yung iba, So, next question. Among the 3 types of loop, which of the loop that will execute at least once? Sige. At least once. Execute siya at least once. Nako, I could see one correct answer only. Yan ako. Yan, nakakita na ko og mga correct answers. So the answer is do while. Okay, thank you sa mga nag-answer sa chat box. Okay, do while at least once mo execute dito siya because what's the reason gani nga nung do while will execute at least once? Ryan?
Mag-read siya first, ma'am, sa statement before siya magsulod sa condition. Kaya
Okay. Very good answer, no? Before it reads the logical expression, it will first read the statement. That's a very nice answer. Very good. Okay, so meaning to say you have remembered our topic last meeting. Okay, another question. Which among the three is more structured? Or is it the for, while, or do while? Sige, John Lee. Bakit for loop, John Lee? Thank you sa mga nag-reply here. Bakit John Lee more structured yung for loop compared to the other type of loop?
Dali ra siya, ma'am. Dali ra kay siya, ma'am. Dali ra kay. Ganayin, gamay ra pud siya na ang line sa program sad sa 4.
Okay, so that's the answer of John Lee. Thank you, John Lee. So, how about the others? Mr. Hichanueva, Hichanova, Philip. Ay, si Philip kasi iba yung answer ni Philip. While kasi yung answer ni Philip, no? Sige, Jessica.
Sa for loop mo kay maka assign ka og like maka initialize ka then maka butang kag increment tapos maka-assign ka din ng ano ang tawag data type.
Logical expression. Okay, so sabi ni Jessica, the initialization, the initial expression, the logical expression, tapos the increment, decrement is just written in one parenthesis. That's why it is the most structured compared to the other three types of loop, the while loop and then the for loop. Okay? Now, which loop, you can have more than one answer for this one, ha? Which loop is will give you a kuan kanang na ang infinite loop if you forgot to decrement or increment. So if you forgot to increment or decrement, which loop that will give you an infinite value or it will not stop looping. It will continue looping. Okay, so it is very good answer. It is the while loop and then the do while. Si for loop kasi imposible na you will forget the increment, decrement because it is part of the syntax in the open and close parenthesis, di ba? Okay, so thank you. With your answers, I can see that you remember our topic last meeting. So we will now answer the let's check. So, since na ay naka-perfect score, so congratulations sa naka-perfect score sa let's check. So, ang iyaha mo ako ang i-open nga answer para i-open sa ako down before ko mag-share screen, ha. Open sa ako iyahang para dili makita ang score sa uban kay bawal kay recorded ra ba ni. Saan na yun? Di ko na mahanap. Page. Sa kabila siguro yan. Wait lang, I'll transfer to another. So, sorry, hawak ako ka-share screen kay bawal mag-show og score sa estudyante nga intentional. Siguro kung ma-show siya unintentional. $11. So, ano yung nakita ko na 12? Eto. So, Ruben James Jamora got the perfect score. So, dito tayo sa answer ni Ruben James. Sige, so, naka-random man to siya class, no? That's why it doesn't have the same sequence with yours. So, do you favor class that we will answer? Let's check. Do you favor? Ano yun? Ang let's check kay para sa exam already. Are you in favor of that? Yes. That's a big yes, right? Para mag-improve din yung score ng iba. Sige, so I will share screen. And I will log out my Facebook para di nyo makita. So it's week 6. Can you see my screen, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Ruben, magpaalam pala ako sa Ruben. Is Ruben around? Hello, Ruben. Are you there? So, since naka-perfect ka man, Ruben, no? So, maybe you will not be offended if I'll show your score. Hello, Ruben. Are you there? I am asking permission that I'm going to show your answer. Wala si Ruben? Wala si Ruben, no? Sige, anyway, wala si Ruben. But maybe he will allow me because naka-perfect score man si Ruben. Okay, so this is the first question. So who got this correctly? Who got the correct answer for the first question? So, dapat no, dili makita pala ang answer. Sige, makita man. Sige. Which execute first in a do-while loop? So, tama yung answer. Sino yung nag-answer kanina? Si Ryan ba yun or si Michael? So, ang unang i-execute niya is the statement. Do while man, do while. Diba? If you remember, do. Begin, then the statement, then while. Okay? So, ang una talaga niya i-execute, it is the statement. Okay? So, do you have a correct answer on this question? Yes? Nakatama mo ani class? Statement ba inyong i-answer ani? Opo. Alright, that's
Yes,
good to
ma'am.
know. Sige. Ang wala katama, maghilom lang. Sige. Sige, next question. We'll have next question. Okay, how about this one, class? Daghang mali dire, ha? Daghang mali. Siguro, half of the student got the wrong answer for this one. Sige, makita kasi yung answer, no? Sige. So, x is equal to 27, y equal to 10. Do. Ito yung statement niya, class. Oh, ito yung statement niya. So, x is equal to x divided by 3. Then, while x is greater than equal to 27, yung question is, what is the final value of x in the above, in the code above? So, what is the final value of x? So, ano yung sinagot nyo dito, if you remember? What is the final value of x?
9 man.
9?
9, ma'am.
Yeah. Kita kasi no, makita. Sige, 9. But anyway, I believe you that you remember your answer. Bakit 9 to siya, class?
27 divided by 3.
Oh, what's the answer of that? So that's loop number 1, no? 27 divided by 3. That is, what's the answer?
9 po, ma'am.
27 divided by 3, that is 9.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
next loop. Ano yung sinagot ni ano dito? What is the final value of I? Of X? Do you agree with this one? It's 9. Final value of X. What's the value of Y? It's 10 pala, no? 10. So that's why, kapila mag-ikot yung loop dito, class? Ilang beses mag-ikot yung loop dito? 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, ma'am.
Oh, okay, very good. 1 lang, di ba? Kasi, pag ano dito, 27 divided by 3, yung tama yung answer nyo, it's 9. So, yung question niya is 9 greater than equal to Y, which is 10? What's the answer? True or false? Is 9 greater than equal to 10? True or
False, ma'am.
false? False, kaya nag-stop na kaagad yung loop. So, isang beses lang siya umikot, class. So, yung answer niya dito is 9, letter B. Naintindihan ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this understood? So, isang beses lang siya nag-loop. So, katong mag-review diha og mga recordings, and if you did not get this correctly, and many did not get this correctly, so the answer of that is, it will only execute once, kaya the final value of X is 9 because X is 27 and Y is 10. So, according to the formula, 27 divided by 3, that is 9. So, the value of X here is 9. So, when it reads the logical expression, 9 is greater than equal to 10. That is false, and therefore, it stops. So, it will no longer re-execute. Alright? Kaya nag-stop na siya. Kasi nag-false na siya. Okay, next. How about this one? Can you remember your answer? Ano ba yung question dito? Alright. Yung question niya dito, ano yung sagot niyo dito? Ay, related man to sa question number 2. So, yung sagot is once. So, kung nakasagot ka pala sa number 2, very likely na you can answer number 3. So, isang beses lang siya nag-ikot. Okay? Naka-follow pa, class? Sabi ni Julius.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Sige, very good. Okay, next. Ano na naman to? Marami palang dual, no? Sige. Makita kasi yung answer. Sige, anyway. And X is equal to 27, Y equal to 10. So, X, the same code. If Y equal to 0, so get-change niya ha, hindi na yan siya 10, Y equal to 0, how many times would the loop above execute? Sige daw. Kung si, ano daw, si Y is 0, ilang beses daw mag-execute si loop? Ano yung sagot nyo dito? Sige daw, ano ko sa chat box, be? 1 yung isagot ni Ryan. How about the others? 1 din, si Julius. Iba na to ha, kasi si White equal to 0 na. Sabi ni Philip, 3. Ni Hisham, 3. Jessica, 3. Si Ulysses, 3. Si Kent, twice. Gleffords, 4. Sige, atong i-trace ha. Kailan line yung answer? Si Eda, 2 naman si Eda. So, anong sabi dito? Y is equal to 0. So, of course, walay lalis, no, nga it will execute once. So, that's 9 in the first loop. X is 9. In the second loop, 9 divided by 3, that is 3. So, 3 is greater than equal to Y, which is 0. That's true. So, kaduha na to. Katatlo, 3 divided by 3. So, that is 0. Is 0 greater than equal to 0? True pa rin siya. Alright? So, ilang beses, class?
3 naman.
Oops. 4 siya, class. Okay? So, i-trace na ninyo siya, kuan ha, trace this one properly. Okay? So, do not forget na yung pang-last na beses, yung pang-apat is, it will still execute because 0 is greater than equal to 0. Okay? So, next. Ito, madali lang to. Oops. Sige, what's your answer for this one? Int I is equal to 0, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. So, the output is an asterisk and exclamation point. System that out the print line. Which of the following is the update expression in the for loop above? Ay, may kadali lang yung sa answer nito. So, ano yung update expression dyan? Sige daw, dili lang ko mag-display of choices kasi makita man. Ayan, very good. I++. Oh, very good, very good. Okay, salamat sa nag-participate. There is a chat box. Si Lauren, Sagayno, Oliva, Velez, Gudito, Salinas, Intapa, AJ, Brian, Jessica, Jeff, Clifford. And I am happy that ang daming nag-participate sa inyo ngayon for this session. Okay, next question. There are 12 questions. Supposed to be, it's not 1 point each, it's 3 points each, but since I would like you to have not a very low score, that's why I get 1 point ko na lang siya kay para yung iba who are still learning, di naman ganun kababa, no? Kasi pag kung by 3 siya, that will be 39. Tapos dun sa class record, if the previous quiz was 20, madagdag yung 39, magiging 59. So, if, example, you will just get 3 here, tapos you have 20 in the previous quiz, that will become 23 over 59. So, parang, para mabalance-balance lang siya, class. It's not over kanang taas yung difference ng previous quiz tsaka present quiz. Okay? So, next question. Napatay question, ani class? Wala ra?
None so far, ma'am.
None. Okay, next. Question 6. Oops. I is equal to 1. Oh, ito. Naghaning wala nakakorek ani di ay. Siguro nasa 40% ang wala nakakorek ani. I always mention this one, the logical expression. Okay? So, which of the following is the logical expression in the for loop? Sige, check your answer. Kaya daghan man itong nakamadian eh. Logical expression. So, I can see the answer of Charles. So, Charles, sige, mamaya na lang ha. So, I'm waiting for the answers of others. Participate tayo, class. Sige, mag-participate po tayo para ma-engage tayo sa klase. Sige. Ang daming naka-answer dito sa chat box, but dun sa quiz, LMS, daming nagamali dito. So, ang i-feedback ko lang, the right answer is, tama yung gi-chat nyo, I less than equal to 10. Pag less than equal lang, relational operator yan. It's not a logical expression. Okay? So, ito yung answer, letter C. Okay, next. Number 7. Madali naman yata itong number 7. What is value of x after following code executes? After the following code executes. So, ano daw yung pinaka value ni x at the end of the loop? What is value of x after the following code? Sige, kindly chat your answer. So, si x yung hinahanap natin ha, hindi si I. Oh, medyo complex to. So it's 3 times 0 is 0 plus I, which is 0. 0 yung una niya, no? Wait lang, class, ha? Ano ko na yung eclipse. Kasi I would like you to see, saan na yan? Entire screen ako. I would like you to see kung anong value niya the first loop, second loop, third, and fourth loop. Kaya ano na lang natin. I-modify lang natin yung program. Okay, can you see my eclipse?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige ha, so i-modify ko na lang ang program para makita natin yung value ng loop. Kasi class, wait, para you can tell the difference pala, para you can understand better. Pag ganito siya, class, di ba it's okay not to put open and close braces in this case since the body of the loop is just one statement, no? So yung output niya dito, class, is 58. So tama yung gipili ni, kanino nga ito, kay James, na 58 yung output. Ayan, tama siya, class. Ito 58 siya, class. Okay? So, the reason why isang beses lang siya nag-output ng 58 because this is no longer read in the loop. This is not part of the loop, class. This is part of the main body of the program. Ang part lang ng loop is this one. So, kaya, para di ka ma-confuse, you put open and then close braces. Okay? So, ito siya. It's more obvious that system that out that print line is not part of the loop. So, meaning to say, isang beses lang siya mag-output, isang beses lang niya babasahin yan. But, since we would like to trace, ano ba yung nangyari sa loop? No? So, we'll modify this one. We'll put it here. So, if this, the output statement is inside the loop, ito man yung loop natin, class, it's the open and close parenthesis. So, klaro dito, class, that your program will re-execute 5 times. Kasi less than 5 and start with 0 pala. Okay? So, i-run natin siya, class. Ayan siya, class. Can you see the output? So, that's the difference if system that out the print line is inside the loop kasi it will tell what is the output of the loop in every ikot. Okay, so in the first loop, the value is 0. As what I have explained a while ago, 0 because the value of x is 0. The value of I, initial value of I is 0 also. So if in the first loop, it's 3 times 0, that is 0. Plus I, which is 0, that is 0. So ang una niyang i-display dito is 0. Yan siya, class. Okay? So that's the first loop. Second loop, si I ngayon nagiging 1. Si X naman nagiging, what's the value of X? Nagiging 0 rin. 0 rin si X kasi because of this, Kasi di ba nag-update siya dito. 0 rin si X. So, si I, the value of I is 1. Kasi second loop naman to. But the value of X is 0. Yung kanina, di ba? So, and I is 1. So, it's 3 times 0, that is 0, plus I, which is 1, that is 1. Okay? So, ito yung i-output niya. Nasabtan na ninyo, class, ganun na 0 si X in the second loop. Nasabtan ba? Anong 0 si X in the second loop? Sa first loop, walay lalis because really, the initial value of X in the first loop, that is 0. based on this given, and I based on this given. That's in the first loop. Okay? So, pagpasok niya dito, so si x nagiging 0. Okay? So, that's why in the second loop, I is 1, but x is 0. So, 3 times 0, that is 0, plus I, which is 1, that is 1. So, muna yung output diri class is 1. Okay? So, in the next loop, this is the third loop already. I is 2, and x is 1. So, 3 times 1, that is 3, plus I, which is 2, that outputs 5. So, the value of x here in the third loop, that is 5. So, next na tuyok, fourth loop, I is 4, and x is 5. So, 3 times x, which is 5, that is 15, plus I, which is 3, that is 18. Third loop, no, si I3, kasi nag-start siya ng 0. Okay, so that's why it outputs 18 here. So, ito si 18, yan si x. In the next loop, iikot pa rin yan siya, class, kay hindi pa man to false, si I less than 5. So, I, in the next loop is 4. And then x is, we're going to compute x. So, 3 times 18 in the previous loop. Ano yan siya, class? 3 times 18. That is 54 plus I, which is 4. That is 58. So, that's why it outputs 58. Okay? So, mas maganda to siya, class, if mag-trace ka ng output, ano ka talaga, no? Naka pen and paper ka talaga. Hindi siya imaginary. Otherwise, ma-confuse ka. Maganda if the controlling variable is not 0. It's 1. Kasi you will not be confused. Pag sinabing third loop, pagka 1, 3 talaga yung controlling variable. Pero pag nag-start siya ng 0, in the third loop, 2 pa yung controlling variable, yung value niya. Pero third, third re-execution. Okay? So, any question with this one? So, ang ipangayo niya, class, kay, yeah.
Can you explain again dito sa part, ma'am, na nganong I kay nagka-value within second loop ba to or third loop?
Kasi nagka-value. What do you mean nagka-value?
Nagka-1 siya, ma'am.
Nag-1 siya second loop.
Yes, ma'am.
Here. Sa second loop,
X.
this one. Kani akong gi-highlight.
Yes, ma'am. Nganong 0 gapon yung value sa X diya na part, ma'am.
0 gapon sa X. Sige. So, di ba, ang initial value ni X is 0 man, no? No, this one. Tapos,
Yes,
si I, first loop, importante maintindihan mo kasi yung value ni I at saka ni X in the first loop. So, pareho sila 0, right? So, isulat ko na lang ha, para mamaya di tayo ma-confuse. So, isulat ko dito, though this is not part of the program anymore, para lang mas maintindihan. So, in the first loop, x is 0, I is 0. So, ang nangyayari dito, class, is 3 times x, which is 0, that is 0, right? Right? So, lagay natin dito, x is 3 times 0 plus I, which is 0. Hindi natin mag-semicolon. 3 times, di pa kita siya mag-times. Ayan. So, ano yung sagot niyan? Anong sagot nito?
0.
0. 0 yan siya. Si X yan. 0 si X. Kaya in the first loop, ang output niya kay X is 0. Diba? Second loop ngayon, so eto, 0. Di yan siya magbabago dyan, class. 0 pa rin yun siya. Si I ngayon is 1. Ana. Okay, so basahin ito ulit. Itong statement na ito ulit. Interpret natin, no? So, 3 times x. Ano nga yung value ng x sa first loop? Ito, oh, 0 pa rin siya. Oh, so 3 times 0. Ano yung value ng I? Ito siya. Anong value nito? Second loop.
1.
1. 1. So, 3 times 0 is 0. Plus 1, that is 1. Kaya yan siya. Yung i-display niya dito, 1. Ito yun siya. Nasabtan?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood na yan ngayon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Alright.
ma'am.
Sige. Sige, burahin natin to ha, kay ma-confuse niya. Sige, anyway, this is recorded. Pwede niyo siya i-replay para mas maintindihan if in case na-confuse pa ha. So, basta i-ana lang siya, i-update mo, mas maayo ko mag-trace ka ana, pen and paper na lang, no? So, para ibutang ni mo rin si X, 1 na ni si X, dayon, pila naman to value ni I, 2 na siya, anaon mo siya pag-trace. Para inig-substitute ni mo, dili na ka malibog. So, may mo na ka, in the third row, 3 times, X is 1 naman, oh. So, 3 times 1 plus I, which is 2. Anaon na ni mo na siya, class. So, ano yung sagot? That is 5, ana. Okay? So, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you try this one. Anyway, this is recorded. Pwede mo na siya i-replay, tapos ikaw mo yung mag-trace by yourself, ha? Para mas maano. So, burahin ko lang to. Anyway, this is recorded, so you can just replay the video. Saan na tayo? So, may question pa ba? Wala na, no? Wala na. We'll proceed. Proceed. Sige. So, next. Oh, so sakita na yung sagot. Sige. Counter is equal to 1. While counter less than 30 is equal to 2 times counter. So, napakita ko na lang yung sagot kanina. So, the answer is 32. Because, ang final value man ang ginapangutana, sige class, what is the value of the counter after the following statements execute. So, final value yan kay after the following statements execute man. So, here, the answer is 32. Okay, so gusto pa niyo makita niyo siya sa Eclipse? Or okay na kamo na lang ang mag-trace?
Ma'am,
Ano?
kanang makita sa Eclipse, ma'am.
Sige.
Yes, ma'am.
Sige. Makita sa Eclipse. So, the same lang yung gamitin ko na program ha, para dili na ko mag-ano. Ano nga yung sinabi niya, nalimutan ko. Counter less than 30. Counter less than 30. Ano yun? Ano yung loop niya? While loop pala. Sige. While counter less than 30, begin and end. Tapos ano yung sinabi niya? Counter is equal to 2 times counter. Tapos, since final value man yung hinahanap, ilabas natin si system.out.print line here. Counter. Parang ganito yung program niya kanina. Ayan, so 32. So, para mas maintindihan, si loop, no? Ipasok natin siya dito, si system.out.println so that it will output the value of the loop in each loop. So, run as, ayan. So this one, obviously, 2 ni siya kay 2 times counter, which is 1, that is 2. So the value of counter now is 2. So is 2 less than 30? True. So 2 times, what's the value of the counter? 2. That is 4. Madali lang to siya i-trace class compared sa previous one. So it will output 4. Next, the value of counter is 4. So 2 times 4, that is 8. It outputs 8. Next, ikot. So is 8 less than 30? True. So 2 times 8, that is 16. It outputs 16. Ikot is counter, which is 16 less than 30. True. So 2 times 16, that is 32. Ano man ni siya? Giunsa man ako ni nga na. That is 32. So it outputs 32. Ikot. Is 32 less than 30? False. So stop siya, class. Okay? But take note ha, kasi yung question is final value. So nasa labas talaga yan kay final value man. Wala man na ingon og value of the loop. Of each loop. Di man each loop. Final value yung hinahanap niya. After the loop executes yung sinabi. So, final value yan. Okay? Question? Proceed na tayo?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige. Ano lang ha, mag-chat box lang kung may question or mag-open lang ng mic, mag-raise lang ng hand. So, this is not difficult. So, ang inahanap niya dito, which of the following is the initial expression in the for loop? Naapoy, daghang wala ka answer, 40% or 30%. So, ang ipangay no, kay initial expression, initial, sugod nga value niya. So, unsa may answer, ana? So, that is I equal to 0. Initial expression in the for loop or the initial value in the for loop. So, ang start niya. Next. May question pa pala. O kani, basta, what is value of x after the following code executes? Yun ang keyword na siya, class, ha? After the following code executes. Final value, doon na iyahang. Ay, mo naman taan ni class, no? Kanina? Na-repeat pala siya.
Yes, ma'am.
Yan, repeat. Bonus. Oh.
Na may pabalik na, ma'am.
Ay, yeah, kasi kanina, manggod, while loop yata yun kanina, no? Tama ba ko? Ibang klaseng loop yun kanina. Ito siya, class.
Yes, ma'am.
Ano, ma'am? For
For
loop
yun
to siya
kanina?
kanina. Yes, ma'am.
Sige. How about this one, class? What's your answer? Say, what's the answer of this one, class? What is the output of the following code? So take note ha, ang ating counter variable is count. Tapos it starts with 1, count less than 2. So ano yung number na less than 2? Count plus plus. So sinabi to num is equal to num plus 3. So what's the value of num? That is 2. Tapos, plus 3 daw, 5. So, 5 and a space. So, ano yung sagot niyo dito, class? That is, obvious man yung answer, di ba? I-show ko na lang. So, that answer is 5. Isang beses lang man siya mag-ikot, class. Okay? Pag next ikot niya, the value of count is 2. So, count which is 2, less than 2, that is false. Dito yan siya papasok, class. Stop na siya. So, isang beses lang iikot yung loop. Okay? So, always take note, class, yung initial expression niya, initial value niya, tapos yung logical expression, tapos yung count niya, increment niya or decrement niya. Okay? So, kung ano yung nakalagay niya number doon. Or by 1 ba, by 2 ba yung increment or decrement. Okay? Because that will affect the number of times that the loop will re-execute. I guess that's the end. And I hope this review about loops will help you in your upcoming exam. Anything that you would like to say? Any realization, any thoughts, any comments? So, do you understand better loop after having seen the answer for let's check?
Yes, ma'am.
4 na passing score. Morning, let's check. No. Ang passing ano yan? 9. Okay, 70% yata ang passing ng UM. Sige. So, kaayo daw. Tapos, yes daw, sabi ni Charles, Ulysses. You're welcome, Ulysses. Regine, yes ma'am. Nakabalo na ko nga nung mali ko in some questions. Yes ma'am. Okay. That's nice. Yes. So, yung feedback ko sa inyo, class, ha, for everybody na lang, no, para di na tayo matagalan. Di na siya isa-isa. Okay? Daghang realization, ma'am, kay daghan sab og mali. That's nice nga na-realize din nga mali siya. So, malay mo, mag-repeat siya sa exam. Anyway, this is recorded class. Tapos, you can replay this one. Okay? Sige, yes ma'am, salamat kaayo. All right, so that's nice to hear from you guys. And so, that ends our review. And then we will now know just napay methods. Kaya I have to meet you by Thursday again. So, na-announce ko kanina that we will meet again by Thursday. Supposed to be Wednesday, but wag dili ka kayanin sa schedule Wednesday. Dapat kasi holiday tomorrow. Pwede ko magklase ugma class if you like. Okay lang ninyo magklase ta ugma baka kasab-an ta no? Okay lang ninyo magklase ta ugma. Sige, i-record naman. So, it's optional lang, ha? Ayaw ko nyo i-report ha, nagklase ko holiday. Anyway, ano man lang yan. Pero optional lang. Kasi recorded naman siya. So, katong mga we will choose to take holiday. Pwede lang naman mag-replay lang. Huwag kayong mag-attend bukas. Ha? Huwag kayong mag-attend bukas yung gustong mag-holiday. Oh yeah, that's correct, Lawrence. Actually, holiday ko rin dapat yan. Pero, sige. Klase ta ugma kay hapit na mag-exam. Sige ha. So, klase ta ugma. Sige, appeal. Kasi ta ugma, tapos mananghid ko daan sa inyo hangay ko i-report. Pag-ingon ko, ma'am, nagkaklase gito si Ma'am Espadero o kuan.
Wala jud ay klase
Holiday.
ugma, ma'am.
Holiday man bukas, di ba? Oh yes, same scheduled, Eda.
Ma'am, dili ni mo.
Kaya sa kaya di ko kadungog kay sa baking bell. Sige, that's nice. I'm reading your comments in the chat box. So, okay lang, no? Basta ingon ko, dili na siya pugsanay nga magklase ta ugma. Ang katong gusto nga mag-holiday, di pag-holiday mo, anyway, wala may problema kay naman tayo recorded, no? Pwede man mo tanaw pagka Wednesday, tanaw na ko itong record ni ma'am, kaklase sila kahapon, di ba? Pwede rin naman yan. Para lang pagka Thursday, magklase na po tag Thursday. Okay, klase na po tag Thursday in continuation sa ato ang lecture. Ma, mag-open kag special exam karon. Yeah, I will open. Sige, Mr. Kajot lang ha. Ako sang i-accommodate si Mr. Tabuco ha. Anyway, Mr. Tabuco, you can just review this one kay recorded man siya, Mr. Tabuco. No, methods pa ta, Kent. Sige, Mr. Tabuco, open ako, Mr. Tabuco. Accommodate ko muna si Mr. Tabuco. From what section code are you, Mr. Tabuco? 1100, 1108. Friday ang next exam, Jeff. 100. Sige, unahin ko muna si Mr. Tabuko. Kumusta na internet connection mo, Mr. Tabuko? Mag-exam ta, kay mo join mo Google Meet ha, kay di ba nagapaon ko og kuan camera. So, I have to check if it's really you taking the exam. Kaya dapat na amo sa Meet. Sige, Mr. Tabuko, you can now take the exam. Sige na, Mr. Tabuko, you can now open. Dili mag-uppercase, oy, sa chat box, kay, di ba, naman na sa CC101. Ano nga yung meaning ng uppercase?
Angry.
Oh, dili mag-caps lock, ha, Mr. Tabuko. Naman na sa CC101, gitudlo na sa CC101. Anyway, sige, so we'll proceed to the sim. We'll just review, not review, we'll continue with the sim last week. So I'm going to share screen. Wait lang, kay need na ko siya i-drag down. So actually, ang pinaka-topic today is about bakit di siya ma-output. This is about nested loop. Pero ako, class, pag magturo ako ng nested loop, I wouldn't want to dwell discussing the sample katong mga may Christmas tree na asterisk, may star na asterisk. I wouldn't want to dwell that because in the real world, that is not what we are going to do. Sa real world is we use loop to do the execution of processes. That's the essence. Okay? So I'm not gonna dwell on that. But since it is there in the loop, isali ko na lang siya. But sa exam, it's not going to be like that. The application of the nested loop is not going to be like that. In the early times of programming kasi, yung wala pang graphical user interface, yung magawa ng mga graphics na ganyan, that is using a loop. But in this time, it's easy to create mga graphics like that already. So that's why we will not tackle loop na pareha atong naa sa Christmas tree, no? Ito naka-asterisk, naka-Christmas tree nga loop, nga naka-asterisk, kabantay mga na class. So, I'm not going to do that. Okay? So, this is what I am referring. But, since na siya sa sim, i-discuss lang nako siya. But, later, kung nitanaw mo sa kung everything else channel, na ako sample dito about nested loop. Yung tanaw mo dito sa everything else na channel, na ako ko if in case naapa mo yung wala bitaw na sabtan sa itong discussion, dito sa channel kasi, na ay part dito nga, na ay yung labeling sa loops. Diba Ryan? Na dito yung nested loop Ryan sa channel. I-open sa nako ha, kay para makita ninyo. Asa to ha, wait. Videos, loops in Java. This one, i-off lang sa nako, isa nako siya patingugon. You should look at this blog, kay very detailed ni siya class. So actually, when I made this one, I was really very busy. So wala na ko nag-voice over, kay madugayan ko. So mutong ani na lang nako siya. Using card direct as it wants to input again. Yeah, this one. Mamaya open ako ni siya mamaya class. Ready lang nako siya daan. Sige. Naka-ready na siya daan, tapos muli akong i-show later. Sige. So we'll have first the sim. Then after, yeah, si AJ nagtanaw sa everything else. Sa imhog sa Indian. Sige. So we're back here. So, ang gidiscuss niya class is this one, the nested control structure. So, what it is saying here is that you can put a condition inside a loop, just like my sample last meeting in which there is an outer loop, katubitang add even, and there is a condition inside the loop. So that one, that is an example of already of a nested control structure, selection and iteration. Selection inside the iteration. Okay, so ato man siya na-discuss last meeting. And then another one is for loops can be used within other for loops. So this is what we call a nested loop. A loop inside a loop. So kung inana gani siya class, the inner loop must finish its job first before it gets out from the outer loop. Okay? So, una muna niya itong i-execute. So, it will identify the initial value and then the ending value. So, pananglitan, if the inner loop executes twice, so dapat iya sa itong humanon tong two loops. Then, after that one, that's the time that it will get out from the loop. So, kung i-trace na to ni siya class, so, in the outer loop, the initial expression is I equal to 1. Then the logical expression is I less than equal to 5. Then decrement niya, yung update kay I++. So, meaning to say it increments by 1. So, given this, we know that our loop, the outer loop, will execute 5 times. So, ang 5 times, ano niya class? Kini siya class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Muna 5 times niya class. Muna outer. So, asa man karon ang inner? So, ang inner niya class is kani siya class. Every set. So, in the first loop of the outer, the output of the inner is 1 asterisk only. Sige, mamaya i-identify nga nung 1 asterisk lang na siya. Sabton sa nato ihang cycle. Tapos, in the second loop of the outer loop, the inner loop executes twice. So, mo na siya class. Kani siya, this is the product of the inner loop, no? It displays 2 asterisk. Tapos, this is the second loop of the outer. In the third loop naman, so this is the product of the inner loop. 1, 2, 3 stars. So, it is written in the third line of the outer loop and so on until it will reach the 5. So question, halagi unsa man anya ma'am nga ang una isa lang man ka asterisk, pangalawa dalawang asterisk. So okay here. So ang sinabi dito, we are now in the first loop ha sa outer. So we will now get inside the first loop of the outer, which is I equal to 1. So here, dalawa yung controlling variable. I dun sa outer, sa inner is J. So si outer sa I, it is 1. Si inner na si J is 1 also. So, ang condition niya, ang logical expression niya class is J less than equal to I, in which J is 1 and I is 1, right? And so, pila man na siya kabuok. If J is 1 and I is 1, meaning to say, isang loop lang yan siya class. Okay? So, 1 less than equal to 1. Meaning to say, 1 lang na iyahang, 1 ka-asterisk lang na iyang output din he. Okay? So, next loop, ikot siya class. Kasi tapos na siya sa first loop class, mag-exit na siya sa first loop sa inner. Kasi in the next loop, pag next ikot niya dito class, J is 2. And then, 2 is less than equal to I, which is 1 in the first loop. And therefore, this is false. That's why mag-exit na siya class. So mag-exit siya, pasok siya ulit sa outer. Okay? So I here is 2. Okay, second loop naman. And then J is 1. So, ma'am, balik nagig 1. Oo, kasi second loop naman ni siya sa outer. So balik na po si inner. Start from the beginning si inner. So J is 1. So, is J less than equal to I, which is 2. Second loop naman sa outer. So, print niya class, isa ka buok asterisk. So, kani siya class, muna i-print kani isa. So, next loop. So, mag-exit na siya sa inner class? Yes or no? Mag-exit na ba sa inner? Next loop? Okay, correct. Dili pa siya mag-exit. Nga naman. So, si J here is 2. Si I naman is, di ba, kay second loop man sa outer, si I is 2. So, is 2 less than equal to 2? That is true. Di ba? 2 is equal to 2. 2 is equal to 2. That is true. So, that will output asterisk again. Ito siya class. So, since that print man na siya class, muna na ang it will display asterisk next to the first asterisk. Kay print man. Kung print line na siya, next line na siya, pangit. No? Dili na siya mga desired output. Okay? So, next, J is equal to 3. So, is 3 less than equal to I, which is 2. So, that is false. And therefore, sa second loop, mag-exit na yan siya dito, class. So, mag-exit na siya. Basahin na niya si system that out that print line, meaning to say, next line na yan siya. So, papasok na siya sa third loop. So, I is equal to 3. So, in the third loop, si J naman will be back to 1. So, is 1 less than equal to 3, which is I in the outer loop? True. And therefore, it will output asterisk. So, ito siya, itong pinakauna na asterisk class. Okay, next. Ikot siya. Inner loop pa rin class ha. So, J is equal to 2. So, is 2 less than equal to I, which is 3? True. And therefore, the print, mag-print siya dito sa asterisk. Okay? So, ito siya, class. Di pa niya basahon. Kaya wala pa man ito naka-exit sa inner loop. No? So, next loop. J is equal to 3. So, is 3 less than equal to I, which is 3. So, since it is true, it will output asterisk, the third asterisk, this one. So, yun na siya, class. Next loop, J is equal to 4. Is 4 less than equal to I, which is 3? False. Kaya mag-exit siya, class, and therefore, ito, babasahin niya to, class. Ito statement na to, system that out at print line. So, meaning to say, next line na siya in the fourth. So, the same will happen in the fourth loop until in the fifth loop. So, from that class, please know na ito si inner, it has to complete its cycle first. Dapat mag-false siya before it can exit. Then after, doon na naman siya sa outer. Okay?
Pangitaan daw, kabalo.
Yun ay nag-on of
Ikaw may
mic.
nakuha na to pod.
Leftwards, naka-on yung mic mo, leftwards.
Sorry, ma'am.
Sige, sige.
Ma'am, pwede mangutan na, ma'am.
Yes po,
Kanang,
Lawrence.
kuan, ma'am, sa sys out o sa sys out print in. Ay, sys out print o sys out print in, ma'am.
Print in, ano ba print line?
Ay, yes, ma'am, print line, ma'am.
Ang print lang, kaya the same line lang siya, di ba? Ang print line in the next line. Para itong next set ng asterisk, it will be displayed in the next line. Ang print kasi, yan, if you notice, nakadikit lang sila, di ba?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
same line lang siya.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, welcome. Pwede rin mo siya i-translate into while loop, Ryan. Pwede mo siya i-translate into while loop. Of course, pwede rin sa do while. So, actually, ang mabago lang naman dyan is the structure, no? Different kasi yung structure ng while loop tsaka do while. But the body will be the same, no? Mag-dot print ka, tapos print line. And of course, you have to do the same. We will translate it to while loop. Sige. So, what are the variables? I and then J. Sige. So, sige, mag-new class na lang ko. Ay, wait class ha. Mag-water breaks ako class pwede. Water breaks ako ha. Mga 2 minutes lang.
Okay, ma'am.
Sige, water break muna. Sige, so mag-eclipse tayo. Pag water break lang po muna, pwede naman mo makalakaw, no? Inom o tubig. Sige ha, so i-translate nato siya to while loop. Sample 20. Sige ha, from for loop, gawin natin siyang while loop. Pwede ba ko maka-2 screen? Nindot og 2 screen para makakita mo sa for version. Wait. So, ano yan? Okay, ito na lang. Mamaya na tayo mag 2 screen after coding. So, si I, controlling variable siya ng outer loop, no? So, since mag-while man tayo, initialization is outside man the structure of while. So, ako, gipaninglan ako, nakakita mo class on, ako message class on. Nakita mo sa akong eclipse?
No, ma'am.
Ay,
Wala po, ma'am.
dapat nagreklamo. Stop presenting entire screen. Ako, may message na naman ako. Ano na naman yun? Ano yung message na yun? So, ano yan? Notify. Mamaya ko na lang basahin. Sige. Nakita na yung eclipse?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige. So, while I man yung ano, no? I is less than 1 yata to 1. 1 ba? Limutan ko eh. 1 yata to. 1 less than equal to 5. Tapos, begin. Tapos, may another controlling variable ka which is the j equal to 1. So, ganyan yung mangyayari pagka nested ka sa while. So, while j is less than equal to I, we'll begin and end pair. And then so, ang gagawin mo dito, kailangan mo rin ng controlling, kailangan mo ng increment at decrement in your inner loop. So, ito yung sa inner loop. Tapos, kailangan mo rin ng increment, decrement sa outer loop. Alright. So, ganyan siya. J less than I. Meron kompleto naman yata to. I think this is okay. Where is the yan. Ayan. You see, class? So, you can translate it to while loop. Okay? So, simple na lang akong palit sa analyze nyo karon pa bonus na lang, no? I-translate niyo siya into do while. Mura na yung let's analyze. Okay? Bonus, let's analyze para di na kayo mahirapan nga mag-exam. Okay lang sa inyo ha, class? Kana lang ha, let's analyze. So, you will translate this one into do while. So, mayroon tayong for loop version, tapos I am demonstrating now the while loop version. So, yung sa inyo, yung let's analyze ninyo is do while version. So, yan lang yung ipapagawa ko sa inyo kasi mag-examan tayo this week. Okay? Any question? Question?
None so far, ma'am.
None so far. Nasabtan to siya, class?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Sabtan
When ang
tayo.
deadline, ma'am? So, ang deadline sa Friday, katulang man Jessica, just one, Tapos, dili na mo PDF lang ako pangayon, PDF. Kasi di man ni, kuan kayo, no, complex kayo, nga kinahanglan ako i-trace jud. Kasi kinahanglan yun ako sa Iran, yung mga answers nga, mag-wonder ka kung tama ba yun talaga ni mo nang kinahanglan sa Iran, nga, kailangan ko ng .java. Sige, PDF lang to, class, ha? So, ang sa PDF ninyo, code, yung sa taas, tapos yung sa baba, parang yun, ani siya, class, oh. Saan nga yun? Ito siya, class. Ito yung ilagay nyo sa PDF. Entire, yan. Print screen nyo yan. Tapos, dapat makita yung output, ha? Yung sa PDF, yan, screenshot. Yan yung i-send nyo sa akin. Do while version. Sige, yan lang. Gift ni Bonifacio sa inyo. Sige, para di mahirapan kay mag-exam ra ba ta second reading. Okay, may question? So do not worry, I'll send this again in our LMS. Nakita ba ninyo yung mga sample programs ko?
Yes, ma'am.
Yung pag-demo? Oo.
Opo.
Buti na lang I don't have issue in my internet connection at home. Umayos na si Globe. The previous weeks, if you notice, di ko maka-upload ng recording because we have a problem with our internet connection at home. Kasi mas dali nga matandog ng fiber good. But now, okay na siya, kaya can immediately upload recorded videos. Busy lang jud kayo ko, but I'll try to cope up. So, that's it for the nested loop. Okay? So, take note, ha, you can put a condition inside a loop. You can nest loop. You can have inner loop and outer loop. And actually, class, pwede. Imong inner loop is while loop. Imong outer loop is for loop. That is just fine. You can have while loop and outer. Do while in the inner. Okay, pwede rin yan siya, class. Okay? But in the...
Yeah, ma'am.
Ha?
Pwede vice versa.
Yeah, pwede kayo. Pwede kayo na siya nga imong i-hybrid nimo siya, no? Pwede na siya, class. You can just do it at home. You can practice that one. Okay? Any question? Sige, kung wala, ito lang yung sa project nyo, class. I'm going to show to you here sa everything else. Maklaro ba siya, class? Hindi na ko kabalo muna ni pinaka-max niya. Ayan. Ito siya. Can you read it? Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Ayan. So anyway, nani siya sa channel. No? So this is another... ito pala yung add even. Nilagyan ko lang ng ano dito. Question, do you want to input again? Yes, no. So kung si user mag-reply ng yes, it will prompt the user again to input a number. So ito siya, yung outer loop niya, ito, the data type is character. Tapos yung inner niya, ito siya, while loop din siya, tapos it's numeric data type yung controlling variable. So pwede yan siya, class. So this one. So iba pala yung style ko sa pag-program before. So I am using, di ba nag-discuss na tayo dito, class, ng predefined method. I am using the two uppercase method. So inside the character class. Okay? So yun yung nangyari. So ito yung outer, tsaka ito yung inner. But anyway, I can code this one now. Sige, i-code natin siya ngayon. So, ang data type ng... Yan ko muna, ha. But you can also do it at home, actually. Ano yung in-import ko dito? Hindi na siya nag-move. Sige daw, i-play natin. Madunggan, ay silent pala to. Namoy madunggan class.
Wala, ma'am.
Wala,
Wala
ma'am.
pa. Ano di siya mo play? Ay, may commercial si May Mendoza. Nagulat ako kay May Mendoza. Pero di na siya, class I will repeat. This is not yet a monetized channel. Si YouTube lang yung nakapag-monetize. Ay, ano to? Sige na lang eh. Sige na lang, demo ko na lang siya. Sample 18 ba yung may upper? Hala, nakita na yung answer ng ng add event. So, eto lang yun siya, class. So, yung data type ng reply is the variable that I used for user's reply if you would like to enter again. So that is my initialization. So, while character that to uppercase. So, nagamit ako ng to uppercase class para I will be sure if si user, kung small letter yung ginamit niya, automatically si program mag-convert it to uppercase. Para I don't have to have while reply equal to small letter y or reply is equal to capital letter Y or to shorten my code. Okay. So, begin. Open brace. So, mag-trace tayo ng braces dito ngayon. This is it. And then this one. Ayan. So, dito ako papasok, no? So, system dot out dot print line. So, yan. Pubutingog na ang akong i-assume nga na ay magpa-zoom. Do you want to input again? So, magpa-reply ako ni user ng either y/n. Yes or no. Okay. And then, so reply is equal to console dot next. Yan. Bakit may error akong isang x? Ito. So, mag-trace tayo ng pair. So, this one, pair. Kulang ng isang close brace. Ayan. Iba yung method niya. Wait lang class ha. Nakalimutan ko to banda dito. Loops in Java. That carat. Ayan. Tapos, close. 16 ba to? 16. So, ito siya class nested pa rin to siya because so how many numbers you're going to input? Matagal 2, input 1, 12, even, input 2, 3, add. So, may question siya class, do you want to input again? So, if I'll say yes, yan, nagtanong siya ulit. How many numbers are you going to input? I will just reply 1 para di tayo matagalan. 56. So, 56 is even number. Are you going to input again? I'll reply no. Ayan. So, nag-exit na siya, class. Nakita niyo siya, class? So, inyong program, inyong project, which will be done by the beginning of the week 9, you will start developing your project na class. So, it should have a mechanism like this in which you will ask the user if he or she would like to input again. Okay? So, nested siya, class. So, you do the body first, then after, para sa ginahimo nako, ang outer, giulahin na lang nako siya, no? So, here, reply is a character data type because it's just one letter. So, while character, that to uppercase reply is equal to uppercase Y. So, actually, class, pwede ko kung dili miingon diri og to uppercase, pwede while reply equal to Y lang. But since I could not guess what if the user will input small letter Y. So, if I do not put that to uppercase, tapos mag-input siya ng small letter Y, mag-terminate yung program. So, user will wonder how come it terminates. I said Y, I said yes. So, that's why I just put that to uppercase para it will convert the input of the user if it's from lowercase to uppercase. Okay, so that's one technique in programming ba nga. As much as possible, ma-minimize nimo tong mga errors. Okay? Question with this one. This is another example of nested loop having character data type for while loop. Pwede ka mag-for loop ani siya, class. Or do while. Mas maayo kung ka sa do while. Okay, question? Apa mo diha, class? Nahilom lagi mo. Pwede, and any, Michael, pwede ka another method as long as it does the same thing. Pwede ka mag-that to lowercase, basta kay your objective is regardless kung ano yung case na ginamit ni user, your program can trap it. Sige, another question. Sample 16, di ay ma'am kani imong gihimo ron. Yeah, sample 16. So, naano na nako siya. Do you like me to upload sample 16?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sige po. But, tanaw lang mo dili sa channel ha, in case.
Ay, ma'am, kanang
mm.
iti maayo og link ana ma'am kanang video nimo sa everything else about sa
Wala pa mo nakaano. Gipa-subscribe ta mo diri. Kana siya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Actually, by sem break, magbutang po kog web app dire using PHP para actually ginaingnan na ako na siya class para supplementary if in case akong estudyante naa sila yung mga kanang questions, pwede sila dito na lang sa ano. Naaman po ni actually wala na ko remove ang sa kuan, ang sa database. Mag-database mo IT mo, di ba? So next school year, mag-database na mo o kani nga topic o kani sad siya. Mao ni siya pang database kani mga joining of queries, especially this one class oh. Yan. Grabe, this is such a big topic. When I lecture this one, it's almost it's 2 hours o tanawa taas kayo 2 hours. So and you will have the same YOLO actually. Sige, any other concerns? Mag-meet na ugma ha. Kahit lagod, ano lang. Pero ugma, dili kasi na ako madala de 308. Pwede pa ba? Kaya pa niyo maminaw na ako class or ugma na lang? Kaya pa? Anyway, sa dili maka-attend ugma, wala tay pug sanay ha. Anyway, ano man can review the recorded video. Just like today, natay recorded. So, itong absent karon, pwede kayo. By the way, baka pa muna ka-exam. Exam naman. Wala pa muna ka-check sa inyong attendance. Palihog na kong self-record sa inyong attendance. Mana. Sige, unsa man, nag-open kong new topic or tomorrow na lang? Java, yeah. Ryan, sa senior CCE 103. Java. What's that? Ulysses? Sige, napay 30 minutes. Sige, mag-open ta og USIM. So, it's methods. Napay 30 minutes. Sige, okay. So, naka-entire screen pa man ko, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige, so this one naman, class. Sorry muna yung next topic na to, no, about methods. So, this is an example of modularization wherein you are going to put a block of code in a certain module because you believe that in some part of your program, this method will be used. Mura ba o? Kung maghimo kag method that performs addition, you are going to put it in a method because, example, kung payroll program imong gihimo, there are many parts or many classes in your program that performs addition, especially if it is complex. So that you will not recode on how to do addition or how to do addition, what you do is just to create a method that performs addition. And whenever another class will utilize that method, it will just call it using its method name. So a method has been introduced to you before when I discussed about predefined methods. If you remember, katabi taong na discussion sa math that round, katong kaganiha, that to uppercase, that to lowercase. If you remember, what are the methods that you remember? Itong mga predefined methods. Itong that length, isa pa?
Katong character, ma'am.
Oh yeah, that one. So we have discussed that one before. Okay? So for this meeting, for this YOLO, what we are going to focus is the user-defined methods. Kaya human naman ta ng predefined, no? And you understand already that when you say predefined, that means that is already defined by Java. So you don't have to supply, you don't have to write how things will be done because Java wrote it already. So all you have to do is just to utilize it by calling its name. So muna tong to ang to uppercase to lowercase. Diba? That's the reason why mag-import na lang tayo, import java.util, that scanner. So kana nga class na ana siya mga methods dito, okay, that you will just utilize. So just the same concept. So here, user-defined atong pinaka-focus. So mean to say, it's us, the programmer, who will create for the method name, who will define how the method will behave. Okay? So, tayo yung mag-define. That's why it's called user-defined methods. So, skip na lang tayo dito because we're done with this one. If you remember, Tapos na tayo yung mga absolute value. Yan. In which all these are not used in one program only, no? So, there are other instances that you need to use these methods. So, scroll na lang ko ani kaya na-discuss na nato ni siya before. And again, do not panic if you have not utilized this one yet because time will come in which you will be tasked to solve a problem that there is a need for these methods, rounding of numbers, getting the power. So you know already that you don't have to write the code because it's there already. Okay, so gamitin mo na lang siya. Okay, so scroll na lang tayo because we're done with this. So here, so our focus is the user-defined methods. So this is the syntax that you need to follow whenever you are going to create a method. First is the modifier, the access modifier, if it is public, private, or protected. So for now, do not be confused with modifier yet because ang atong gamiton here are public and static for now. Okay? So, mingkag public, meaning to say it's visible in other classes. Okay? So, other classes can access it. Static naman, you created that one within the class. Okay? So, you write the modifier here. So, kung wala, dili ni mo specify ang modifier, by default, it is public. Okay? So, that means to say that method is visible to other classes. So, dire, since the method that we will be creating is within the class kay this is introduction, and so we are going to use static as our access modifier. So, static followed by the return type. So, return type could be string, could be double, could be float, could be int, depending on your statements in your method body here. So, kung mag-add siya 2 numbers, so that could, your return type could be integer, could be float, could be double. Okay? So, next is the name of the method. The name of the method is any valid method name. So, you know already the rules that it should start with a letter, it must not contain a space. So, the same rule with how you name a variable. And then your formal parameter list. So, the formal parameter list that involves the variables that you use. So, kung mag-add do ka numbers, you can have int num1, int num2. So, wherein you are going to pass this value later on. So, as of now, do not worry about if you do not understand what I'm saying. Mag-sample ako later. And then, here, this is the body of the method. So, the same, you need to write open and close braces. So, the open and close braces, that is the coverage of, that denotes the beginning and then the ending of your method body. So, your method body could be one statement or more than one statement. And the same, you have to put a semicolon to terminate your method statements. So, you just treat a method just like you are creating a code, an ordinary program that you just modularize it. Okay, you see that these codes inside the method could still be used more than once. That's why you put it in a method. So, eto na yung mga gipangyaw-yaw na ako kaganiha. So, this is an example of a method. So, what's the name of the method given this one class? What's the name of the method? Sige, you write your answer in the chat box. Sige daw, one look, kung makakita ba ngalan sa method din ha. Sige daw. What's the name of the method? Ay, wait lang. Asan na to? O, diba? Ito pala siya. Sige, what's the name of the method, class? Anyone can turn on the mic?
Larger, ma'am.
Okay, correct. So the name of the method is larger. Okay? And our access modifier is public static, no? And then double is our return type. So unsa kanito yung ngalan atong mga variables nga ibutang nato sa open and close parenthesis? They are called
Parameter.
correct. Actual parameter list. Uy, kainit na ba ni akong gilingkuran di ay? So that's called actual parameter list. So kung list, meaning to say daghan siya. But you can have one. And actually, you can create a method that doesn't have a parameter at all. So later on, we will have a sample on that. Basta kay kung daghan kag ka ng parameters, you will just separate them with a comma. Anong init na kaya akong likod? Okay? So here, how many variables do you see inside the method? Is it 2 only?
3, ma'am.
3? Yeah, it's 3. So you have here actual parameters, x and y. So, ma'am, unsa may ngalan na ni Max karon kung si x and y, there are actual parameters. How about max? So, max here, this is what we call our local variable. So, meaning to say, it is accessible only within the method. It is known only within the method. Okay? So, outside the method, max is unknown. So, what you have here inside the body of the method is it will just compare if x is greater than equal to y. So, if x is greater than equal to y, the value of x goes to max. Else, max is y. So, meaning to say, y is larger than x. Then, when you call the method, it will return max, which is whichever is true here, or si if ba or si else. Sige, you will just understand that one better in our succeeding samples. So you have here your formal parameter list. So in any day class, when you define the method, when you create the method, the parameters that you write inside open and close parentheses, they are called formal parameters. When you call the method, so kanang imong ibutang dira, that is what we call the actual parameter. So in this example, this is how you are going to call a method. So ang ngalan sa method kay kaniha, di ba, larger. So since there are 2 formal parameters, so when you call it, there must be 2 actual parameters. So it could be a value or it could be another variable. Okay, so these are the 3 different ways on how you are going to call a method with its parameter. So yung una, it's the actual value, kaning 23.50, 37.80. Or it could be variables. So example sa main body sa imong program, yung ka-input first number, tapos nag-scanner ka og num1, input second number, ga-scanner ka og num2. Okay? Or it could be here, just like this one, when you call larger method, the first one is the actual value, the second one is a variable, your actual parameter. Okay? So these are the 3 different ways on how you are going to call a method. So actually, si method class, kung tanaw nimo, what you are going to write here is kanang what to do, what a method can do. What can it perform? That is what you're going to write here in the body. So asking for inputs and displaying its output, that you can do it in the main body of your class. Okay? So nahubog, nalibog. Nalibog class, sige lang class, pa na-complete ang discussion. Sige, so I'll show to you. Not this one. Wala man ni method. Nangita tag dunay method nga sample. Ano ang kiti ang gibutang dire? So kani siya class. Kani siya. This class will let the user input 10 numbers. Tapos, this class, it will read user's input in the 10 numbers na asya sa loop. So, kasalang siya miingod rig message enter 10 numbers, pero here, yung nag-input na sa user, asking, reading user's input from scanner, it is inside the loop kasi 10 number yan siya, class, di ba? So, 10 times din nag-input sa user dire. So, what happened here is, the larger method is being called. So, si max saka si num. So, ano yung ginawa niya dito ni max at saka ni num? So, dun sa body ni so max and num here becomes the actual parameter of num1 and num2 in the formal parameter. So, what it does is, it simply compares if the number entered by the user is larger than max. No? If that is the case, then the method will return the value which is max that will be assigned to variable max. And then it will output the largest number is max. So para mas masabdan ni siya class, we will call this one. I'm roughly 30 na. Kaya nag-bell na. So I will just continue this one tomorrow, no? Kaya magklase man ta tomorrow. But before I will end this session, I would like to ask from you, what is your initial thought about methods? Dali ra siya, makalibog siya, unsa ba ang status niya ni methods? Wala pa siya nasabtan jud. Confused, medyo libog. Sige lang, introduction pa lang man. Ganahan ko ni James ug answer, dali ra siya makalibog. Libog pa, ma'am. Yeah, okay lang na siya nga nalibog pa kay tomorrow. Mag-programming gid ta from scratch. Loading kaayo, ma'am. Sige lang, okay lang. So mag-programming tayo from scratch tomorrow. I will not be using that one kay naaday condition. Naaday ni condition ni naa sa SIM. Yeah, mura ra siya main method, oo. Nabutang lang siya sa Jessica. Yeah, usbon ako ni siya discuss, Julius. Pero tomorrow dili kani akong gamiton. Bali i-follow up na ko ni siya kay na may mas simpler nga sample sa method kaysa aning naa sa SIM. Julius. Para dili malibog si Jella. Daghan nalibog, ma'am. Yung sa bitaw sa videos, everything else about looks. Wala jud siya sounds, ma'am. Yeah, kay mo na akong giingon nga kanang naang nagdali ko ana. Kaya nga siya naka-araw-araw lang siya, Darlon. Kasi akong environment po na Darlon, kay saba kayo, Darlon. Dahil kay mga iro nga nagpaghot, maglain kayo. Ang malandong nasa yes, Lawrence. But ako sample tomorrow, Lawrence, kay dili in ato, Lawrence. Simple lang sa siya. Kata kong giingon mag-add og 2 numbers para masabtan ninyo siya dayon. So enough for now, for today. Introduce lang nato siya kay napamangutay remaining minutes kanina, no. Enough for today nga you know that when you say a method that is just a block of program that performs a specific task. And then that task could be use more than once in a program. That's why you put it in a method. Okay, actually, kung dili gud siya gamiton more than once, you do not put it in a method. Okay? So, kaya lang gina-method nimo siya because you think nga pwede siya gamiton sa lain nimong classes. Masabtan yun, CCE 103 nyo, dagat yung mga methods nga created to. Road to 1 million na imong YouTube channel. Katawa man ko nimo. Oh, ayaw mo pang layas siya, Glenn, ha, and everybody, ayaw mo pang layas din sa everything else. Support. Sige, anyway, sige lang, mag-upload ako ng videos dira para di mo manglayas. Support, correct, John Lee. I like the response of John Lee. Support local, correct. Mo-support mga mga vlogger dira nga magsigil sila away-away ng vlog plus no para nagahan sila viewers. O kana pang educational. Di ba kisa ng mga vlogger dira nga mag-away-away para na sila views o mag-prank-prank, mo na uso. Ganahan mo kay mo ana no. O correct, ganahan kay mo Darlon. O sige, pohon ha. Sige lang kay you tell me if you have your channel, will it support each other? You just put your here, your channel link. We will do it in week 8 kaya hindi na kita bugat og mga gipang-isip-isip. Ay, dili gid ako na kaya Jessica na mag-prank-prank. Ay, yes, Glenn. Pohon. Pero gamay pa na siya Glenn eh. Kasi nga wala man ako na siya gud Glenn kay katong gasugod na og kanang online class tapos daghan kay kog sections. So since di na ako sige kakita ako mga estudyante, mo tungto ang giinaanan lang nako para na sila ma-review. Ipang tamo Ulysses, pa ita di mo balo mo prank Ulysses oy. Tinud anay gyud ako sige Ulysses. So i-prank tamo nga nayo synchronous class wala dito ugma. Di ka mo malain. Ay, grabe po na nga prank Jessica. Di lang ko Jessica mo prank ang dagang hagbong kay baka ma-depress ng uban Jessica. Ipang kang grade. So, na-record. Sige, kay second belan ako, Napa ko daghang trabaho. Actually, wala na dahil namong upload last week. So, kay daghang document ko, wala naman. No, Lawrence. Kahit wala pa yung loop, Lawrence, pwede yung kay ka mag-method, Lawrence. Oh, wala na. GE1. Sige, bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow, optional lang ha, kung ganahan lang na may recorded. Sige, I will stop recording.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye,
Bye,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Eh, ma'am, kumusta din face-to-face, ma'am?
Amping, baka daw sa Sensen. Amping food mo. Bye-bye.